Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Kate's Cozy Reads. I just finished the Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. The books are Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline. So in my last video I talked a little bit about Haunting Adeline. I'm going to go into some more depth in that, as well as give my review about Hunting Adeline in both just as a set. I'm going to be talking about Haunting Adeline first, and just kind of reading like my notes that I've got written down, which is quite a lot. So let's see here. Oh, I was on the wrong page. So this is my Haunting Adeline notes. Okay, so Haunting Adeline is a dark romance / thriller. It is 583 pages. I read it from September 15th to September 28th of 2024. So what did you think of the book? Amazing book, all-time favorite so far. I could not stop reading. I would spend hours a day every day reading. It was so good. What is the most interesting, intriguing, challenging, or surprising part of the book? 1, Addie fell in love with Zaid. And 2, they ended things on a total cliffhanger. What are you going to take away from this book? People are not always as they seem. And so I already read some of the quotes in the last vlog here, so I'm just going to skip over that part of this one. But basically, Haunting Adeline is a great book. Definitely, let's see if I can find it here. Yes, the author actually does put her trigger warnings in her books. Something she also does, which I find is quite interesting, is she makes playlists of songs to go with the books. And I think that's really cool, just to kind of get the vibe of the book. So having said that, trigger warnings, you are going to want to look at these trigger warnings as well as Hunting Adeline's trigger warnings before you even start, because Haunting Adeline just ends on such a total cliffhanger. You're going to want to know what's next, but I will tell you firsthand, Haunting Adeline, this book was much harder to read than the first one, and let me explain why. So in the first one, you kind of go into this point of view starting off as Adeline Riley. She is an author. She lives a pretty boring life. However, her great-grandma passed away, and that house was handed down to her grandma. Her grandma passed away. That house was handed down to her. Her mom didn't want it. And this house is called the Parsons Manor. It's this beautiful Gothic Victorian house, huge mansion kind of thing. It is haunted. And basically Addie starts to realize that not only is there paranormal stuff going around like in the house, but she is having a stalker as well. So the stalker's name is Zaid Meadows. Zaid is the definition of a morally gray character. He is a mercenary as well as a stalker, and if that's not weird enough, they end up falling in love. He tries to help take down this society, sex trade, skin trade thing, and Addie unfortunately gets looped in it. And that's where Hunting Adeline comes in. So in Hunting Adeline, you're still going back and forth between points of view of Zaid and Addie. In Hunting Adeline, though, you are really seeing firsthand what kind of goes on in the skin trade. She is unfortunately in it, and Zaid ends up getting her out, thankfully. You meet a few characters along the way, such as Rio. Rio is another very morally gray character, I would say. He is the one that kidnapped Addie and got her in the skin trade, but he also helps get her out. And so you're seeing that, and then after that, oops, my poor camera. Okay. After that, after they get out, Addie has severe PTSD, as anyone I imagine would, and upon just going through that, they are taking down all of the people that made these poor women suffer. And as well as that, Addie has really taken a turn. She decides she doesn't want these demons to take over her life anymore, and she becomes a badass. and she becomes a mercenary as well. It's a really good book. It's a really good set. It is my favorite series I've ever read. After this, sorry my camera keeps shaking. I don't know what's going on. After this, I've already started Satan's Affair. Satan's Affair is a prequel to this set that I did not read before starting because you don't actually have to. And I wish I did, so I am starting that now. And then after I'm done with Satan's Affair, I'm going to read the spinoff, Where's Molly? Molly is one of those characters that you will see throughout Hunting Adeline. So now for my review of Hunting Adeline. Hunting Adeline is a dark romance / thriller. I started it on October 5th and finished it October 21st. It is 649 pages. How exciting? 5 out of 5. Ease of reading, I actually put 4 out of 5 because some parts actually made me have to stop for a little bit. It can be quite disturbing and nauseating. But I did know I wanted to keep going, so I did. My overall rating, though, is a 5 out of 5. What did you think of this book? Amazing book, amazing duet, my favorite of all time. I plan on reading the prequel next, then the spinoff. Then the author is releasing a new one in January I plan on reading, and I am super excited about that. What was the most interesting, intriguing, challenging, or surprising part of the book? Rio having a love for Addie, Dr. Garrison trying to kidnap Addie, Addie's parents being taken, Sibby returning, the first and second culling, Sibby and Sydney being related, and their proposal. What are you going to take away from this book? 1, this is a very good author. I need to read all her books. And 2, people will get karma. Thoughts and quotes. Bro, none of your grandparents are still alive. My poker face has cracked. These men may be skilled in hunting, but what they don't know is that I've been hunted by a scarier man. I was a mouse caught in a trap before, scared and helpless as I was taken between the teeth of an apex predator. But I'm not their little mouse, and they are not Zaid, and I will never succumb to them. Meadows, baby. Our last name is Meadows. Plus, it's missing the ketchup stain off the roof, and I miss that stain. I glance around, trying to locate where my heart fell out of my ass. Zaid and I, we don't make sense to the outside world, barely even in my own head, and I'm finding it hard to care anymore. There aren't any diamonds in it, I murmur. So yeah, that is the quotes that I have saved from Hunting Adeline. I highly recommend these books. If you please read the trigger warnings before starting for both of them. I didn't think Haunting Adeline was that bad. Hunting Adeline, it was a little hard. It was a little rough, but I made it through. I'm so glad I did. It was a great ending, and now I'm moving on to the next. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.